Hi everyone. I know this is not a pleasant topic. However, in the United States we do have capital punishment, and many countries in the world have banned it already, or there's a moratorium on capital punishment, but the US and China still use it. So there is talk about bringing the guillotine back to death row, and the reason is because it's clean, it's quick, and all this talk about beheading and everything, it's like really in the vernacular of the masses. And when you think about the guillotine, that is quick and clean. It's not like having, the ISIS or ISIL beheading people one by one with a dull knife. So this is one way of people saying, okay, wow, the guillotine's not so bad compared to that. But in Utah, they just passed a law at one level to allow the firing squad, but the firing squad is kind of gory, there's blood, and sometimes they miss the heart, and then it takes longer for a person to die, which is really horrible. So, but this is the truth. This is this is life. And I want to show you something else about the Noahide laws. The Noahide laws punishment call for beheading. And the Noahide laws, the 7 Noahide laws, come from Jewish tradition and allow Gentiles to be not Jews, but right with God and acceptable because they live a righteous life. So, okay, let me show you this. Okay, this is new. Open letter to House Speaker John Boehner. So, this guy right here, he's a Jewish sage, mystic, or whatever, leader in Israel, and he is reviving the need, he believes, to institute the Noahide laws in the US and in the world. And I do think that the UN may be behind this as kind of a one world religion. So it's really here. And what I was reading before, I think on Wikipedia, about the Noahide laws is that no one has ever been punished with capital punishment for breaking any of the Noahide laws. However, they put capital punishment in there in anticipation of the Messianic age. And this guy believes we are now in the Messianic age. So can't you see all this coming together with, you know, NBC talking about everyone will be chipped in 2017, the mark of the beast in Revelation 13 and 20, the DARPA Google tattoo ID, all of this is coalescing. Also the the war on Christianity, because Christianity and Christians are getting in the way of the movement of the one world religion. One thing that I don't understand, though, is how, well, the Noahide laws do not allow homosexuality. And the symbol for the Noahide laws is the rainbow, just like the gay symbol. So, just want you to see this, okay? This is March 26, 2015. And he has an open letter to House Speaker John Boehner, because John Boehner went to the Holy Land. So I'm going to go down here, and he's just going on and on about living harmoniously with God and obeying the the most well-known part of this covenant is the 7 universal commandments, or the 7 Noahide laws. For this reason, Judaism and Jews do not proselytize, but rather seek to guide the nations of the world in developing their own relationship with the Almighty and implementing these potentially unifying laws of basic human nature. So, you see, this is a law for everyone, universal law. So, this was brought to the U.S. Okay, in our times, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson brought the laws of B'nai Noach to the forefront of our efforts to bring lasting peace and prosperity to the Jewish people and the entire world. Time and again, the Rebbe explained the world is ready to accept responsibility for these laws and to renew the covenant made between Noah and the Almighty after the flood, as recounted in Genesis. Okay, it's not a religion. And in 1991, U.S. Congress officially recognized the Noahide laws as part of joint resolution to designate an annual education day in tribute to Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson. Okay, so they recognized the Noahide laws in 1991 in the USA. This is coming. This is really, really coming, and you can't ignore it. Okay, down here a little more before I show you just a bit of the rest. Okay, God is waiting for the Jewish people to become the teachers to the nations. What prophet Isaiah called a light to the nations. So this is his letter to John Boehner. This is the call of the hour. Now is the time to both stand strong in face of darkness and redouble our efforts to spread the light through the Noahide laws. God is waiting for the nations of the world to observe the Noahide laws and benefit from the light of the Torah. Okay, so, you know, no one has been decapitated or beheaded because of the Noahide laws, but they put them in there, that punishment, in anticipation of the Messianic age. And he believes this is the Messianic age now. Okay, let's see. Here is the Noahide laws. Here's their symbol. Okay, this is November 3rd, 2014 on this page. The 7 laws of Noah, or the Noahide laws, are set moral laws commanded by God and binding on all children of Noah, namely all of humanity. So could this be the one world religion? Maybe the Muslims will agree to this. And then the Jews and the Muslims will both agree that yes, if people believe in Jesus or worship Jesus or put him first as a link to God, that's idolatry, and they must be beheaded. Okay. It's just so obvious. All right, 7 laws of Noah are prohibition of idolatry, murder, theft, sexual immorality. That includes homosexuality, the prohibition against blasphemy, and okay, let's look at idolatry. So it's coming together. And what did Hillary Clinton just say something recently about Christians? They have to like give up their faith in order to move ahead, something like that. All right, living Torah, rejecting idolatry. And remember, worshiping or believing in Jesus according to the Torah is idolatry, and you will lose your head. Okay, so, okay, this is all about the Noahide laws, the prohibition of idolatry. So the Druze, mostly pro-Israel Arab citizens of northern Israel, are strict followers of Yitro. They call him, well, what I read about the Jews so far is they recognize the Noahide laws and they their leader urges all the Jews to practice the Noahide laws. There is a list that you can research of all the countries who recognize the Noahide laws. Okay, something else I want to show you is, if I can just get it here. Sometimes they get a lot of windows out, and I don't want to close them because they get lost. Okay, this is I just typed in Google Noahide laws punishment for idolatry. There are lots and lots of articles. In fact, this is my video I made February 2nd, 2013. So over 2 years ago, Jesus Christ is idolatry. I was shocked when I first heard about the Noahide laws, and it's getting closer and closer and closer. Unbelievable. And you know all that stuff about, does the government have guillotines? Who knows? I don't know if anybody has verified that or not. But anyway, this is from Wikipedia. And I want you to see that, if it will go a bit slow. Okay, the penalties of the Noahide laws. Okay. Well, I don't have patience to go there. You have to go there yourself. But just look at this then. This is from Revelation 13 or Revelation 20. King James Bible. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus. So, as you know, in recent months, many Christians have been beheaded for the witness of Jesus Christ, or just, by being Christians. And then also the Armenian Holocaust, they were beheaded, and they were Christians. Something like 90% of all Armenians were professing Christians. And they were a threat to the Ottomans, and the Ottomans, the Turks, did them in. Starvation, drowning, beheading, whatever. They just get rid of them. And that could happen again because this spirit of death, lovers of death, is still in the world. And, in Armenia, this is what happened. It was overnight. People didn't know, and people came knocking on the door, pulled a few people outside of the family, shot them, took the other ones. And this happens over and over and over in our world because of how people are. But it's a spiritual world, don't you think? Look. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded. He saw the soul. See, your soul is valuable. It's the most valuable thing. For the witness of Jesus and for the word of God. The word. The word is Jesus. The word was God and was with God. And which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years. So, some versions of the Bible say, instead of he, they say it. And I thought that was interesting. Might make a video about that. Okay, so meanwhile, while you still have your head and you can enjoy some things, go have some blueberry pancakes, because I think Scott NC, that is what he would suggest. Forget all this stuff, don't worry, and go enjoy yourself. Take a walk with the dogs. Thanks for listening. God bless everyone. Bye for now.